Alright, welcome on guys, and welcome to the Season 5 release patch notes. First of all, we're gonna list the changes to the base game, and then after that the changes to the mod and also the additions of the mod itself. So first of all, what does the mod change to the base game, game design wise? For attribute and skill point acquisition, we have removed all attribute and all skill point rewards from quests in Normal and Elite. So Kasparov's Experiment, Merciful End, which is Lutra, and Hidden Path on Normal and Elite do not grant any skill or attribute points anymore, which also means that if you're doing, say, a ultimate start, like an ultimate only start, or you want to do only normal into ultimate or only elite into ultimate, you do not have to go back to those difficulties to, do those quests. This will also, on the other hand, mean that the merit will be slightly weaker because the merit will not grant you these skill points or attribute points. This is one of the few changes, or like one of the many changes rather, that we've done to basically redesign the entire campaign around ideally like two underscore playthroughs and not 3, right? So usually you go like normal, elite, ultimate. Now the VM is basically has been kind of like rebalanced to be only, or like rather to make it ideal or playable and feasible to go straight from, say, veteran into ultimate. More on that later. On the other hand, you are gonna be missing 4 attribute and 4 skill points, right? Because of these being removed here. They have been added to quests in the new Act 8. The Act 8, obviously, like the maps from last season, and some additional ones on top, which also have some new quest lines. So yeah, the Liberation of the Village that you know from last season will grant you an attribute point. This is ultimate only, by the way, ultimate only. Pigment Initiation Ritual, which you also know from last league, 1 skill point. Defeating the Twin Gargoyles in the Eldritch Lake, 1 attribute and 1 skill point. You also know this one from last time. And then new quest line with a Grobel, plus 1 attribute point, and a new Verdon questline, like around the Omen, that gives you plus 1 attribute and eventually plus 2 skill points. Music is a little loud. Alright, we can turn it down. Is this better? Mr. Streamer, Grim Tools tells you should have 4 more skill points than I currently have. Is that a bug? There is a check. If you're playing vanilla, there's a checklist as well. There's like a checklist for the skill points, so maybe check out the checklist. You can upload your character to the checklist and check it out there. You're memeing? XCD streamers unaware? Well, yeah. Maybe you should try the new act then. Okay, map. Reduce the repair cost for the bridge to Bastion of Chaos to 10 scrap and 5k iron butts on normal, veteran, and elite. There's really no reason why this should be more than that. And ultimate is still 40 scrap. There are also gonna be additional ways to, that's not even here, added, here we go, added shortcut portals to the dungeons, to the portal area in Hunter's Blind, unlocked after Ultimate Nemesis Scroll Quest. So there are additional ways to get to the dungeons quicker once you basically enter endgame and you have found those scrolls that you can find from the Ambush Ghost Hunter Nemesis that you might also remember from last season. Alright, difficulty unlocking. Since the season mod is by definition a mod, and Grim Dawn on its own just handles mod in the way that it unlocks all difficulties by default, we have embraced that, and also, I mean, we can't really change this. Like, all difficulties are just unlocked by default. You can start the game at level 1 on any character in normal, and elite, or ultimate, or veteran, of course. And also the use of the merit, which currently in this mod is only useful for unlocking the portals on normal and elite, because you don't get skill points anyway, and you already have all the difficulties unlocked anyway. I guess you also get the bags. This was in the past blocked only once you killed Logorian. Now it is blocked once you kill Kaizok. The reason we've pushed this further up is also because there was like, or like rather there is like a slight bug, you could say, in the main menu. Like when you go with a character straight into Elite or straight into Ultimate, and then you go back to the main menu, it will default back the difficulty option to normal. Unless in the past you have killed Logorian on normal, then you can default up to Elite. If you killed Logorian on Elite, then it can default up to like Ultimate, right? Now you would only have to kill Kaizok, and then it's basically fixed. So now if you kill Kaizok on normal, on Elite, or even on Ultimate, it will not default back to normal anymore in the main menu. Which also means that the merit is blocked, but I mean that's fair, right? Like you usually use the merit before you kill Kaizok anyway. These will be released, yes. The vendors in the roguelike dungeons, right? So in the league, in season 4 and also before that, we had nerfed vendors that you could reset for monster frequent, right? Like all the non-standard vendors, like this is a standard vendor that like sells you random crap, but like the ones that have special gear, special monster frequents, those got nerfed, right? The ones in, say, Seacap District that you can just easily access are still nerfed. The ones in roguelike dungeons have been buffed again, so they have been semi-unnerfed. The first time per run they will sell you items like in the vanilla game. So the very first time you go to, say, the what's it called? Vinylton in Ancient Grove, you can get to that Thunderstruck of, I don't know, of the Tempest Living Ring, for example, there. But when you try to reset it with the reset trick, it will only spawn the nerfed vendor. So yeah, you have like one chance, one shot, one opportunity, right? Per dungeon key now, again, at least, but no more, like basically cheesing it and resetting it doesn't yield you better results. Area level adjustments. So this is also part of our like rebalance, basically. So area levels on normal veteran have their max level increased to 70 to 80 for all acts except for Act 1, including all roguelike dungeons. So this means that if you want to go from normal or veteran straight to ultimate, you can go and like refarm basically any item again in normal already, except for Act 1. We didn't change, or like I didn't change Act 1 because I, at least for Act 1, didn't want people to feel like it's Diablo 4, where enemies like get infinite power with you. But so if you want to like just smack some mobs and feel good about it, being like 50 levels above the mobs, you can still go to Act 1 if you want, right? Completing the, oh yeah, exactly. To properly reset the vendor, the dungeon has reset the vendor to its original state. The dungeon has to be completed. Logging out is not enough. Yeah, so if you want to only farm the vendor in the dungeon, so that you can't just like spend a key and go there, log out, spend a key, go there, log out. No, the vendor will stay nerfed until you complete the dungeon. You have to complete the dungeon and go outside the dungeon, and only then it will be reset to like the unnerfed state. What? Existing is a typo? Oh, exiting. Completing. Oh, I already wrote that there. I'm blind, yeah. Imagine reading. What a shit, yeah. Welcome, guys. How do I identify triple rare without a rainbow mod? There will be a rainbow mod for the league that you can download as well. That will have all the items from the league in there as well. Okay, we were talking about area level adjustments, right? So this is the normal veteran adjustment. For Elite, area levels on Elite have been increased to a max level of 70 to 85, basically the same as here, more or less. for all acts except for Act 1. Area level has been reduced from level 90 to level 85 for some areas, like for example Crown Hill, and from level 85 to 80 for the roguelike dungeons. This is basically just to like kind of streamline Elite to be, first of all, a little useless, and second of all, to be just like a basically Veteran 2.0. Obviously the quest progress is still not shared between normal, Veteran, and Elite. I would like that to be the case ideally, but that requires some like major hard modding, unfortunately. So for now, Elite is just normal plus basically. It is still obviously harder than normal and also still harder than Veteran, but probably actually like slightly easier than it is right now, and it also will have slightly worse rewards, especially like XP wise, which we're gonna talk about right now. Experience gain adjustments, right? To have a proper transition from like normal / Veteran to Ultimate, we also of course had to adjust the XP. So what we did is we first of all made Veteran great again, right? Increased Veteran XP bonus for killing mobs from 10% to 30%. Right? You get 30% more XP now in Veteran instead of 10% for killing mobs. MVGA, exactly. Increased XP for all quests on normal Veteran by 100 to 350%. This is the same as old Elite values at max. So basically, you get literally the same experience for quests, for completing quests now, on normal, on Veteran, and on Elite. All three difficulties give you the same amount of XP for quests now. Thank you so much for resub, Neomort. Thank you so much for the 10 months. This also meant that some of the experience values from quests on Elite have been also slightly nerfed. So basically, like, they're all the same in normal, Elite, and Veteran now. This also will be most noticeable in Act 1, because Act 1 experience gain, I couldn't really like readjust that much, because otherwise you would be like level 50 after like defeating Walden Creek, and that would just make no sense, right? All experience from quests have been capped to 50k. Like, there's some quests that gave you like either up to 50k or sometimes slightly more than that in the past, and they have all been like capped to 50k now and to 100k experience in Ultimate, with like one exception. Completing Shape of Flesh quest Theoden gives 75k normal, Veteran, Elite, and 150k in Ultimate. And I think also the very final quest of Act 8 also gives that same amount. This basically is just also kind of like a measure to make sure that quest XP doesn't get completely out of hand with this change. And you will notice that going forward, you will, like, it will definitely be easier for you to like hit level 30 or 50 or 60 or 70 even, but then it will slow down significantly and will be either just as hard as before to level up, or maybe even slightly harder to like get to level 94 or 100, or rather you will feel like, okay, I really need to go into Ultimate now, right? Which around level 70 plus you should do anyway. The TLDR version is Elite has been removed from the game. Kinda. I mean, Elite is supposed to be removed from the game right now, unless you are still saying, fuck this crap, I'm still doing normal Elite Veteran, like normal Elite Ultimate, I still want to do all three difficulties, then you can still play all three, right? Reputation? No, there's no need for reputation. We'll talk about reputation right now in a second. Or if you want to go Elite into Ultimate and you don't want to play normal / Veteran at all, right? That is another option. Okay, adjusted Shrine XP. This is just like more or less some like consistency stuff here. Shrine and Monster Totem XP, similarly to quests, have given have more XP now and a bit less XP in Elite. On the other hand, they give like different XP now depending on their tier. So before, like, every single Monster Totem gave the same XP. Like a normal Savage Totem, a Forsaken Savage Totem, and an Ancient Savage Totem for some reason gave all the same XP. Now the normal one will give 10k instead of 15k, the Forsaken one 15k instead of 15k, and the Ancient one will give 20k instead of 15k. Iron Bit rewards as well for quests in normal, Elite, and Veteran have been like brought closer to each other. So generally like increase in normal and slightly reduce in Elite. They're not exactly the same in Elite and normal now, but they're like very close to each other now. Can you play the League on 2 devices? If I start on laptop this weekend, will I be able to continue? Blah, blah, blah. I think so, because, okay, while you need to disable cloud saves, like the Steam cloud saves and the standard game cloud saves, we will now actually have characters also saved on our servers. You might have to double check with Ground Zero / Mr. Monday on that though, because those are the ones handling that. So it might be actually possible, like properly possible now to like play on several like devices, like across several devices. I should change up some music here. Let's see what else we have. We have obviously more music. Steam Cloud does not work with season mod. Yeah, but do our own like save files work? Because we are uploading to the servers, right? Reputation gain adjustments. We have doubled the amount of reputation gained from all monster kills from the Beast and Outcast faction. We have tripled the amount of reputation gained from all monster kills from Solal, Bismiel, Dreeg, as well as Mammoth Resistance factions. Or like 4, like that you gain for these, right? And we have quadrupled the amount of reputation gained from all monster kills for all other friendly factions. So this basically means that, well, if you need more reputation with a faction, just kill some mobs, right? Just do some bounties and kill some mobs. Don't even have to do bounties, honestly. Increased monster reputation gain reduction for champions from 0.33 to 0.5. This is more like something that probably most players don't even know what this means. So what this means is, once you hit honored status with a faction, you will get less reputation killing monsters, and that factor was 0.33 in the past, now it's 0.5, so you only get 50% instead of 66% like reputation from these. But since you get literally like 300-200% more, this is you won't even notice this that much. And then also, this effect has been delayed from respected to honored status in the past. This already took effect once you hit respected, now it takes effect at honored status. So basically this means that if you just play through normal / veteran, or just do a single playthrough through elite as well, you should be pretty much honored with all factions, as long as you like kill stuff equally. And if you want to be revered with factions before going to ultimate, you can easily just farm like an area where you have certain amount of mobs that, you know, give reputation for a certain faction. Like for example, if you want to be like revered with Devil's Crossing, you just go and kill some Cronley gang, for example, in the Forbidden Vault, right? And then you will get to revered status easily with Devil's Crossing, even in normal, so you can like buy their level 50 or 60 or 70 augments and prepare yourself properly for ultimate. And also on top of that, the writs that you had to buy from the vendor, they just have been removed now. They have basically been baked into those like doubling and tripling and quadrupling of the reputation. These were honestly, in my opinion, a design flaw of the game anyway, because the people that knew you needed to buy a writ, they bought the writ, but the people that didn't know, they didn't buy them. But the people for which this was only useful was for the new people, right? It's only useful on the first character, otherwise this is useless. So, I don't know, we just removed it and adjusted reputation accordingly. Like overall, you're gonna get more reputation even with this being removed. And the mandates have their reputation bonus reduced from 150 to 100%. These are obviously still used for Twink, like for second plus character leveling. And even with this reduction, overall, you will still, even for speed leveling, get more reputation than before. Yeah. Alright, but what about devotions when you only play like one difficulty? Well, all shrines that are only available in ultimate difficulty are also now available in normal, elite, and veteran. And all shrines that were only available in ultimate and elite are also available in normal / veteran now. So all shrines that you find in normal, I mean all shrines that you only found in ultimate before, are now also available everywhere, right? So you can get, what is it, like 58 or probably 60 even? Like 60 devotion shrines on normal. Obviously you don't have to do all of them, but there are tons. Yeah, Hallowed Hill has one. Like Act 1 has 8 shrines now, not 7, for example. That is a buff. We did do some slight devotion rebalancing. Dryad -1% Physrus, Turtle -1% Physrus, Hyrian basically like elemental damage buff. The skill itself also has been buffed. You can see here like the damage scaling before, the damage scaling after, and here the levels. I will post this on the Discord as well. Kind of same for Light Empyrean. Instead of only giving % fire damage now, it gives % elemental damage, and the flat fire has been changed to flat elemental, and higher values here. On the skill itself, physical damage has been removed, and instead it has lightning damage now, which is the same as the fire damage, which is a higher value than the physical damage it was before. You can obviously still convert this to physical if you want, right, and then deal physical damage. We also did some slight mastery rebalancing. Keep in mind that 1.1.9.8, which is not out yet, the official crate patch, will also slightly rebalance some of these, and I will do a patch that will adjust our changes to their changes as well.
Avid VOD watcher here. Looking forward to beating your dungeon score by 1 again. Cool cat. Hope you reach your goal, cause you deserve much more.
Thank you so much for the sub, for the $30. Thank you so much. Very much appreciated. Very much appreciated. Hope you're gonna enjoy this league as well. Let me know what your name is on the website as well, so I can unlock you for being a supporter, so you get infinite slash and also infinite trade, what's it called? Trade requests? Something like that. Any timeline for 1.9.8 patch? All I personally know from Xantai is May or June. That is all I know. But I also never sell this, by the way, don't tell them. It might be July, I mean, I don't fucking know. They don't like push dates. I mean, it's ready when it's ready, right? Soldier. Our changes to Soldier are basically only that Blade Arc itself doesn't knock down anymore. You need to use the transmitter to make it knock down now. This was more like a personal thing for me, because this was annoying as fuck in my opinion, and if you want to still knock down stuff, you can just use Clean Sweep. Occultist, Dreek's Evil Eye, this is a more or less like a non-change, it's just energy cost. This was old cost, this is new cost, so you can see it's literally 1 less energy at max and at level 1. But it is more significant, or like more noticeable at around like 12, where it's like 5 less. So it basically feels better to put points here early while leveling, and you're gonna not run out of mana like as quickly while leveling. And then this is just like the Transmuter, which has like 2 more mana than before. So using Transmuter is like 1 more at level 1, but I mean, why would you do that? You would run it to like 12 points, so it's like 32 instead of 37 now, still less. And at max it would be like 1 more mana, but I mean, at that point you don't care about it anyway. Energy, I mean, of course, not mana. Arcanist. So, I know there are some changes for 1.1.9.8 queued for Calidus Tempest. I did my changes before those were happening, and I'm still gonna push these first and then see how it's gonna feel. These have been slightly tested, not fully in my opinion, but we're gonna see how it feels like. So the main thing here is the radius has been increased from Calidus Tempest, from 4.2 scaling up to 5.8 to 5.0 scaling up to 8.0. These are the levels, and the weapon damage has also been slightly buffed here. Or rather, actually nerfed at level 1, but I mean they scale higher to level to 70% weapon damage. I know 1.1.9.8 has like very high weapon damage numbers now. So I'll reconsider this entire change when 1.1.9.8 is out. For now, this is how it's gonna be in the mod. And also, energy cost has been reduced, especially at low levels, still scaling up to the same at high levels. Again here, just making it feel better while leveling, that you don't run out of energy as quickly. By endgame, I think it's fine, the cost is fine as it is. And by endgame, you usually also fix your energy problems, so this should not be an issue, but while leveling at least, it should be at least playable, because honestly, in my opinion, at least in 1.1.9.7, this skill is literally unplayable. Like, you just can't play it. Unless you have like full level 94 endgame gear, the skill is literally unplayable. So this should hopefully at least make it playable and like more fun while leveling. Transmuter, 10 more mana on this. kind of like similar change as this, like similar thought process behind the change here. Since base energy got like reduced, this gets increased a bit. Penetis. Penetis is also in a similar state as Character's Tempest. I would say not quite as bad, but you literally just use Fireball instead of Penetis while leveling usually. So this has also here the old damage, here the new damage. This is just the base skill. The modifiers are unchanged, so it just has like more damage, right? 191 instead of 170 at level 16, and 356 instead of 325 at level 26. And energy cost, again, like the same at high levels, and reduced on low levels, especially scaling to around like 16. Here it's like reduced the most at this point. Now the mirror though. The mirror is getting nerfed. The mirror is getting nerfed. There we go. Because it is honestly ridiculously OP. A 1-point wonder, you can still get to 100% absorb if you invest into it, and if you get all the skill points for it. Usually you would play this at like 7 points, so you would get 82% absorb here, or at 12 points like 90% absorb here. This is still way better than like Mark of Torment or anything other from other classes, but it is definitely worse than before. Red Arcana is dead class. I mean, that's... Keep in mind that like a cluster, right? A cluster where you think it's like ridiculously strong. Even a cluster is only 75%. As you can see here, right? It's 75%. Has way longer recharge. I mean, has longer duration, sure, but I mean... Yeah. And also Arcanist obviously still has an unchanged nullification, which is generally a even better skill in my opinion. Okay, next up we got the Shaman. Any item that converts Barathorn to cold now has a new visual, which I cannot show on this character unfortunately, but maybe I'll show it later on another one. And then also the Ground Slam has its taunt chance basically reduced. So if you want this to taunt 100% of the time, you need to invest. Otherwise it's only gonna be like generate a threat. I know 1.1.9.8, the official crate patch, is gonna just give everybody taunt, every pet. I think it should be the other way around, but I mean, yeah. So for now, just like Barathorn is getting like a slight nerf here. Next up we have Necromancer. Necromancer, Drain Essence. I know Drain Essence is actually in a decently good state endgame with gear as well, but also for leveling it just absolutely sucks, right? So first of all, it gets its damage increased, even slightly in the endgame, like plus 14 here at the end, and then like some more here. Again, it's gonna be like most noticeable at like around 16 points. So usually like when you hard cap it while leveling, instead of 90 damage per tick, you deal 96 damage per tick. And also the Vit Decay, instead of 99, you deal 130 per second per tick. And then this is high values. But yeah, you can just check this out like later. Energy cost, similar to, again, like Hydra's Tempest and Penetis. Energy costs like reduced at lower levels, because it literally deals more damage to your energy bar than it deals to the enemy's HP bar. So that's why I did this, and like endgame is the same. The Essence was a mechanical issue while leveling when I played. I mean, it has a kind of like low range, yeah, that's just how it is. I didn't really change that then. Summon Skeletons. Since Crate likes to buff literally every single pet except for Skeletons, we're buffing Skeletons here at least a bit. Their base percent health scaling has been increased from these numbers to these numbers. So you can see the scaling taking place, like kicking in here slightly, some buffs, right? So basically like the more points you put in Skeletons, the tankier they're gonna be, which hopefully make them a bit more useful than just for Act 1. No changes for Oathkeeper or Demo right now.
Good,
no.
you're back.
Yo, Mechanical Engineer, welcome back, welcome back. Thanks for the Prime. 28 months, same game, Kappa. Thank you so much for the resub. Welcome back to the Bloomers. Alright, creatures. Tomb of the Heretic. We did this on stream actually the other day. Tomb of the Heretic, right? They have these like basically purple leeches that look like the Chthonian leeches, but are supposed to be like celestial Ugolian leeches, right? They had a projectile that could freeze the character and deal damage to the character. Well, Crate, 3 years ago when they made this creature, they forgot to add an explosion radius to the projectile, so all this time dealt 0 damage and didn't freeze. Now I fixed this and it will deal damage and it will freeze. So have fun playing Tomb of the Heretic. Okay, some item changes. The Dark One set drop rate had been reduced in the mod, right, in the past already. It's around like 9% drop rate in vanilla game. It was 3.5 last season. Now it's 5%, so we increased it a bit again, but not quite as high as vanilla. I still think this is very easy to farm. 5% is, I think, more reasonable than this there. Earth Splitter. This was used in the infamous Force Wave build from last season. We just removed the entire range to Force Wave this one gave, right? So like, if you want to deal Force Wave damage, you need to be a bit closer now at least, because you're gonna be ridiculously tanky with this build anyway, right? Wendigo Eye. Removed lightning affinity on the magic affixes. Okay, so here's one thing that I think I wasn't mentioning. Where is it even? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Wait, is it not in here somewhere? I got all the fucking, okay. Yeah, let's just move over here, right? So item affixes. We have added 2 new affixes, like yellow magic affixes, common affixes, whatever you want to call them, right? A flat elemental damage magic prefix called elemental. This one just has flat damage, just like searing, or chilled, or superior, or piercing. Right, this has a flat damage, which can roll on weapons and like rings, for example. And we also added a % elemental damage suffix, which is called of the elements, which is similar to like of scorching or of frostbite or whatever it's called. Like those, right? Or of thunder. And this can roll on weapons, jewelry, and armor as well. Like all the slots where like a of scorching could also roll. These values are like slightly higher than for fire, cold, and lightning, because the fire, cold, and lightning one would also give you like burn and frostburn and electrocute, whereas this is only flat damage, right? This is no dot damage. There was in the past a rare affix that was called Of the Elements, which obviously has the same name as this, so I just renamed this one to Of the Tempest instead. Since this, I believe, also gives you +2 to Raging Tempest anyway, I felt like Of the Tempest is a fitting suffix name for this one. Now this elemental affinity, or rather this elemental pre and suffix, also meant that I had to create elemental damage affinity tables for all items that should be more likely to roll those. So I created tables for those and added those tables to all of these items, which are some new items, some old items. And this is where I was gonna refer to, or like what I was gonna refer to here at the earlier point where I was. And then also I did the same for a physical affinity table for caster offense, because currently in the game there is no physical affinity table for caster offense, because caster offense usually never have physical affinity. But in the mod there is the Skull of the Realm, which does have that, or like does want that rather. So I made an affinity table for that one. Now Skull of the Realm is more likely to roll, for example, of Ruin suffix. Okay, let's move over to the... where was I? Item changes, right. So the Wendigo Eye, for example, also, instead of just having lightning affinity on their affixes, it now has elemental and pierce affinity for the magic affixes, so it also uses this like new elemental table I used, and for the rare affixes it uses lightning pierce. Bloodthorn Codex, this is the infamous Summon Briarthorn offhand, reduced damage from 30% to 22%. Ugdenborg Girdle, reduced petrifies resistance from like 35 to 30 basically. These are like the different level versions, right? Like level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or like tier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one is level 94 tier. This one is level 84 tier. This one will be level 70 tier, and so on and so on. Used to be 45 even? No, I don't know. Yeah, I mean up to. I think it's like the average value or something like that. Tempest of the Tempest would be a triple rare. Yes, but I think you cannot get the Tempest prefix on the same items as you can get off the Tempest suffix. So a Tempest of the Tempest I think doesn't even exist. Oh yeah, it used to be 40. Yeah, this used to be 45 at some point. Yeah, true. Okay, Scorpius Bludgeon changed Affix affinity from physical to bleeding. I don't know why this had like physical affinity or not bleeding affinity in the first place. Leaf Main Trophy added 100% Aether to Vitality to Drain Essence. Empowered / Mythical Will of Fate removed chance to pass through the Bursting Ground, and it now has just the default pass through again. So if you want to play as like a build that has 100% pass through on all of its projectiles, this is the only item in the game again. The blue Mythical Will of Fate, or Empowered, or even the standard one. So there is still one weapon in the game again that has this pass through all the time. Warborn set. Slight nerf here, slight nerf here, slight nerfs here, nothing else to see. I mean, OP set, who would have thought? Call of the Beast from Mythical Beast Callers, Cowl. Some slight pet nerfs here, nothing to see here, right? Obvious, this is OP as fuck. Beast Caller's Talisman. Slightly rebalanced to be like a very slight nerf to physical and to bleed, but instead like a buff to other pet damage types. Nature's Avenger, just like slide away nerf on the 3-piece. Scarab's Shell, bleed damage nerf to Blade Spirits. Keep in mind there is a new item also supporting Blade Spirits, and with that new item, together with the shield, you will have the same-ish / slightly higher values on bleed in total than before. So the build is obviously not dead, it's just less power on the shield itself. Map. Vanilla map has some of its chests and Tomb of Korvac reduced, like removed, the chest spawns. So farming, like spam farming ghost ambushes is not necessarily the best in Tomb of Korvac anymore. And also Tomb of the Heretic has a second gauntlet event now in the second part of the dungeon started before Mogonoth. Okay, now to the changes to the actual mod, right? Okay, so for crafting, as you guys have seen already in Grim Tools, we have added new essences that have different crafting functionalities and can be used in items on top of components and augments. Now, one thing I have to say here, or like to mention here, is that these only work if you're playing through the launcher. These do not work if you're playing off launcher. These do not work if you're playing off launcher. Can I show you some of them? Let's see. Let's do a small demo here. So you have the Essence of Taxiru, which rerolls all stats on an item. We have the Essence of Ishtak, that can add a pre or suffix to an epic item. We have the Essence of Ratosh, that rerolls a prefix on a magic or rare item. You have the Essence of Typhos, that rerolls a suffix on a magic or rare item. We have the Essence of Ultus's Wrath, and we have the Essence of Vire that can upgrade an item to its next tier. Let's see what I have here. For example, I have this new item here, the Global Ice Hammer, right? It has a Chilled of Celerity right now. So a cold flat prefix and a casting speed suffix. If I use the Essence of Ratosh here, right click on the item, it's gonna reroll the prefix to a chilled. Well, that's literally the same item. Do it again. It is a chilled yet again, literally the same item. And I know why, because I'm not playing on the launcher. Smart me, I was not playing on the launcher. This is a, yeah, whoops. Let me just grab the launcher real quick. Working as intended. Yeah. As just said, right? Like if you're not on the launcher, it doesn't work. So that's what I wanted to show you here, obviously. Okay, let's just test it here on the launcher real quick. Does it say test launcher? Okay, let's just... let me see if I can remember these. Fuck. Alright, here we have the Essence of Retosh and the Essence of Typhus yet again. Here's a Chilled of Soul Warding Spectral Longsword. If we use the Retosh one to reroll the prefix, we now have a Void Touch of Soul Warding, for example. This is the one for the suffix. Instead of Soul Warding, we will have, I don't know, something else. Let's see. Of Alacrity, for example, Pog U. If you ever wanted to play like a, I don't know, a Chaos prefix on this, I mean, obviously it would make no sense, but like the suffix would be nice, right? Like of Alacrity is pretty nice. What else could I show you? I could show you the reroll, right? So for example, if you don't like the roll on your conversion, for example, right? You have 52% conversion here. You would like that one to be higher or lower, I don't know. You can use the Essence of Ataxaru to reroll the stats. Now it's 51%. Now it's 55%. Rank 1 Pog. Rank 1 Pog, yeah. Now, let's say you have a low-level item. Right, you have a Hound's Bite at level 21. But it sucks. You want a better one, right? What you can do is you can use the Essence of Wire to upgrade its tier. Right, this is a level 21 Hound's Bite, but you're now level, I don't know, like 50 or something, and you would like to just use the same item, but like a higher level version of it. You can use the Essence of Wire. Well, now it's an empowered Hound's Bite, requiring level 65. Do keep in mind that if you're level 64, you will not be able to use this item anymore. So you can, if you're not careful, destroy your build. Or like not destroy your build, but you can like make an item unusable. Also one thing that I should also say maybe is that this does not work on items that you have equipped, right? You need to, right? This does nothing. It says yes, but it doesn't actually work. You have to put the item out of your hand into your inventory, and then you can use it, right? You can try this once again. Now it's a Mythical Hound's Bite, level 94. So that's how you can also like upgrade lower level items to high level items. Can magic yellow affixes be rerolled into rare Grimoires? Yes. This is magic plus magic right now. You can try rolling, superior, puncturing. I mean, obviously the chance is lower. Elemental is the, oh yeah, there it is, right? That's the new elemental prefix that gives like flat elemental damage. Oops. It is obviously very low though. Let's see if we get the suffix maybe. Yeah, there we go, of shattering, right? Shattering is a rare suffix. No limit to rerolls, can an item get bricked? It's currently balanced around not really bricking. I mean, there are ways to brick items, but you'll see. And then there are the other two up. I guess we can also spoiler those, right? Right, so we have this one right here, the Essence of Ishtar. This can add a prior suffix to an epic item. So we have this mythical Hound's Bite here, right? What we can do now is, well, maybe a mythical Hound's Bite is not good enough for our build. So we can add the Essence of Ishtar here. And now it is a superior mythical Hound's Bite with a prefix. Well, superior is not going to do that much for your build, but yeah. So what you can do now is you cannot use these, right? You cannot reroll pure suffix. To reroll the pure suffix on these epic items, you would have to use the same Ishtar one again, right? You can reapply. If you don't like superior on the blue item, you can reapply this. It's going to delete the old one and give you a new one. So now it's a Encanter's Mythical Hound's Bite, for example. Which is, well, an elemental prefix, so probably an asset item. Still terrible, but yeah. Does this work on legendaries? Okay, so we have a Mythical Fiend Scale Jacket here. Adds a prior suffix to an epic item. It does not work, because if you can read, you know it says epic and not legendary. Now there's one final one. The Essence of Ultus's Wrath. The Wrath of Ultus corrupts an epic or legendary item. This one works on epics and legendaries. I have no idea what's gonna happen here, so let's just try it out, right? This is an epic item. It is now, you can see the text is red now. It is an Encanter's Mythical Hound's Bite, and you can see at the very bottom, it has a Ultus's Mark, which grants it flat RR on top of everything else, right? The Replicating Missile proc is from the Encanter's prefix, the Ultus's Mark is from the, basically, corruption of Ultus. Now, this, once corrupted, means you cannot use other essences anymore. You cannot reroll the affix of the, like, you cannot remove the Encanters anymore, for example. However, you could use another Essence of Ultus's Wrath. A passive stat? It's coded as like a passive skill added to the affix, yeah. Like a stat, basically, yeah. Now it has Ultus's Thunder. A powerful strike shattering enemies in front of you can activate off all default weapon attacks. So now it has a weapon pool skill. And this one, well, if you can read, right, it says it corrupts an epic or legendary item. Will these mods show up in Grim Tools? Ideally they will. I mean, probably right now they won't. I will have to give them some like proper further instructions to make them work on Grim Tools, but yeah. Do keep in mind that obviously the reroll one for pre and suffix is going to be rather common. The upgrade one, not so common. The reroll one, not so common. The add pre or suffix one is going to be very rare, and this one is going to be even more rare. So, yeah. Does it have a chance to destroy the item? Maybe. Okay, so these are these essences, right? These essences drop from ambushed heroes and ambushed nemesis. Also bonus chests from ambushes in the bonus dungeons and from the final boss chest in a bonus dungeon will have the chance to drop the essences, right? Like these can drop, like essences can drop from all of these, right? So the only way to get essences is to do ambushes, and only their heroes, the nemesis, and the bonus dungeon ambush events will give you essences, nothing else. Your previously written question. Could you repost your question, please? MIs are upgradable as well. With this implicit one, yes. The Essence of Wire can upgrade the MI as well. Like, you can upgrade a level 84 monster frequent to a level 94 monster frequent. Yes. However, it will not upgrade the tier of the affixes. An extra shot on the item. That's a passive, so it's that one specifically would be weapon damage only. It's the same wording as all other like flat passive damage, which is just weapon damage. Okay, Nemesis and bonus chests can drop the rarest tiers. Heroes can only drop magic melts on normal elite and magic rare melts on ultimate. So you can also, I think, see here that they are coded. This is a magic augment, this is a rare augment, this is a rare augment, epic augment, legendary augment, right? So the other essence, the retouch one, the prefix one, is also coded as magic. So these magic ones can drop in normal and elite and ultimate from everything. The rare ones, like these, can only drop in ultimate, not in normal. And the epic and legendary ones will only be dropped from boundless chests and Nemesis. They cannot be dropped by the heroes. Yes, they are. Okay, yeah, and normal you just get like lesser versions of these that have like level restrictions. Which I guess I could also like show real quick. Right, so for example you have... let me also like put one of these in here again, and then...
Good, you're back.
Underscore pre... underscore 70 dBr. Yo, why enough? Welcome on. Thank you so much for the resub. Welcome on. How you doing? Okay, so basically these that I just showed, all of these are ultimate only, right? All of these are ultimate only. What you get in normal, elite, and veteran are these three. The lesser essence of retouch, which does the same as the essence of retouch, but it can only be used on items up to level 70. The lesser essence of Typhus, same as Typhus, again just like level restriction up to level 70. And the lesser essence of Wire, same as this, with a level restriction of below level 50, so up to level 49. So this only works on blue items, not on purples, because, well, legendaries are level 50 plus, right? So these are the ones you're gonna get like very commonly like during early game leveling on normal difficulty, or like elite, or wherever you're playing, right? And these are the ones that you will start seeing once you hit ultimate. They're coded as rare. Yeah, okay, I should probably change that. Yeah, this should be magic, obviously. All right. Can you apply it if the item is above the required level? You can't. It's red then, yeah. You can't waste them. Like this one works, right? This one works, it's green. This one is red. Because this item is too high level. And also if an item is like the highest tier like this, you can also not upgrade anymore, it's also red. I didn't show the empty container. Yeah, that's true. There's one more thing even. There's even more. There's always more. There's also this. Empty essence container. Container usable to extract an item's affix essence. Applicable to all items with at least one affix. So you have a Shamans of the Void, right? A Shamans Zarthuzarans of the Void. And a Soldiers Zarthuzarans of Wildfire. This one obviously sucks. This one is better, but I want this space, right? I want to play a cocktail build. So what I can do is I can use the empty essence container on this item. Now it has been consumed. Now this is a soldier's offhand essence of wildfire. Also changing the visual, and also if you can see it, also changes the icon. Now you can use this one, Soldiers of Wildfire, on the Shamans of the Void. And now this is a Soldiers Zafuzadan's Codex of Wildfire. So you can transfer affixes as well. This is an epic augment, so this is coded correctly, so it's basically like the same rarity as this. But there is also gonna be a way to craft some of these. Yeah, the empty one is like ridiculously strong, of course. It says applicable to all items with at least one affix, right? This item has one affix. But it's corrupted. But it is corrupted. Denied. Okay, let's see if I can buy something here. I can buy like this ring, right? Blue ring. I can give it an affix. But I'm not gonna corrupt it, right? Just a warped solar seal now. I can use this, and now it's a warped ring essence. So this also works on blues. Now can I put this on this, right? This is a Solar Stormfire seal. Now this is a warped Solar Stormfire seal. Is this a new season? This season is starting... I should probably update that. Starting in 2 days? 2 days. What if you use a double affix container in a blue item? What if? What if indeed? Blackwood Harvest Meta, let's go. Exactly. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, where's the season command? Give me 1 sec, guys, sorry. Hello? It might just be red and not work, I don't know. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Okay, I think we showed all of them now, right? Yeah, it should be red. We've also added 2 smiths in new areas that are for you to find. The first one can craft essences, but only specific ones. The second one can craft 2 new components. This is actually wrong. And the essence container. There we go. The empty essence container. What happens if you fail the wall? I mean, just try it. Just wall it, or do you have no balls? Just ultos it. Ultos, praise ultos, or no balls, right? Alright, map. Fix some pathing issues in Port Vabry. Okay, that's like whatever, right? Move Dari to an unmissable spot at the pass. Yeah, hopefully people won't miss Dari in the new Asakarn mountain area anymore. We smoothened out the Omen Arena and Tomb of the First Inquisitor, so you don't get like randomly stuck behind some of those rocks anymore. Revamp the area around the old entrance of Forbidden Vault, Skeleton Key Dungeon. This Vanessa Margrave's NPC is gonna be in front of the dungeon now. There are new story quests, new maps, new shortcut portals, 2 roguelike dungeons at the boss portals. I think this was like added twice, wasn't it? Yeah, we can remove it up here. I guess this would be a fitting point to open up the world map, right? You guys might all know Hunter's Blind from last season, but have you also seen how these areas look like now? So we have the Forbidden Vault, like you can get here from Asakarn Mountains, right? We can just port there real quick. I can show you where the act basically starts, right? You would go here, talk to the NPCs here, go through here, through Asakarn Customs. And then we have this beautiful valley from last season, the plateau, the peaks, the peak main camp, a new peak, a tomb, and then if you go further up, there is another map here with, well, things added inside. Alright, so much for the maps, I guess. Where was I? The Asakarn faction also gets reputation now from killing beasts instead of only outlaws. The troll empty area of Act 7? Yeah, you might wanna... Yeah, true, you might wanna revisit the Act 7 area in Infernal Waste as well. You might wanna go there as well. Who made this map? This one? I made it. We also changed some of the existing quests from Season 4, like the Liberating the Village, collecting the Materials of Freedom. This one required you in the past to go to the smith, like to the actual anvil and craft them, craft the weapons yourself, and people didn't find them because the weapons were coded as quest items, and quest items, even though they are weapons, couldn't be found under weapons, but under potions or components, something like that. So now we just removed that, and instead of that you just give the items, like the materials, to the smith himself, and he will just do it for you. So no more scrolling through the menu and having to click the craft button and that kind of garbage, right? We removed that part, made it a bit more streamlined. The vault, the Forbidden Vault, now has 4 assets instead of only 3. Do keep your eye out for the 4th one. Experience gained in Act 8 quests has been increased on top of the general experience changes, because Act 8 was kind of not giving you that much experience in the past, or in Season 4 at least. And also, on the other hand, their quests were giving too much reputation for the people of Asakarn, so those have been reduced. It's just a general balance thing. Not really a big thing here. Now the Boundless Dungeons. The trader didn't properly pay attention to the Boundless Dungeons. They obviously still exist. There is another 7th dungeon now, not only 6 dungeons, it's 7 dungeons now. And we have also compressed the scaling of Boundless Dungeons, similar to SR, right? SR last season was compressed from 75 down to 15. And the Boundless is getting compressed from 25 down to 15 as well. So basically a Boundless Dungeon should be more or less comparative to a Shattered Realm 15 now as well. At least when it comes to the raw scaling, the actual difficulty might still be very different depending on what you're doing. So the Boundless keys now open instead of every 5 levels, they open every 3 levels, right? 1 to 3, 4 to 6, 7 to 9, 10 to 12, 13 to 15, and then the last one 16 plus for pushing the Boundless Dungeons, which again is going to be part of the tiebreaker. Also, we have these quest objectives that existed in the past, I think only for 20 and higher or something like that. They have been added at levels 3+. But we have reduced the amount of quest objectives. So now, for example, in Tomb of the Heretic, you do not have to hunt for those like random spawn tentacle guys anymore, but instead all of them will be more or less like fixed spawn events. There's usually 4 quest objectives per boundless dungeon. Like for example in Tomb of the Heretic it will be the Magi chest, it will be the chest from the Hungering Darkness event, it will be the chest from the second newly added Gauntlet event, and it will be the last one for Morganath. Or in Steps of Torment it will be Ilgor's chest, the Chamber of Souls chest, Alchemost's chest, and then the one other trap room chest that has like 2 locations. So it's not like fully fixed spawns, but those are, I mean, you know where they are usually, right? They are very, very, very easy to find now. And on top of that, they will always have a star on the map now, right? They will have a star, so if you have trouble finding the event, you can just open up your map and look for where the star is. Yeah, so this is the new Gauntlet event in Tomb of the Heretic as well. And now, what I also did is to make Boundless Dungeons more worth farming, on top of the essences that you get, on top of the still existing one-click crafting relics and their materials, you also have a higher chance of getting triple rare greens inside Boundless Dungeons compared to, say, Shatter Realm. However, they are specific for the dungeons. Say, for example, you want to farm a triple rare spectral longsword. Well, obviously the theme for that would be Steps of Torment, so you would want to go and farm Boundless Dungeons. And the Boundless Dungeons, or rather the 4 chests that have the quest objectives, they have a higher chance of rolling a triple rare. It's actually a 25% chance even. Like there's a 25% chance for double magic, 50% chance for single rare, and 25% chance for triple rare, basically. When you open the chest, right? Like this obviously will scale up. Like the amount of items you get per chest will scale up the higher, like deeper you go in the Boundless Dungeons. And then the chance for getting a triple rare on that item from that chest is always going to be 25%. Yeah, basically what's written here. Whether or not that triple rare is good for your build or not is still RNG, right? It still respects the affinity affix table of that item. So for example, a Spectral Longsword will be more likely to get you a cold damage prior suffix, and also in this case a 25% chance for a rare prior suffix and a higher chance of getting a cold damage prior suffix. However, you can obviously still get like a useless one. Also, another thing we changed is in Season 4, to unlock the final key, right? To unlock the final key, you had to do all 6 Boundless Dungeons level 20 to 25 on one single character, right? Now, you can complete level 15 on character A. You will get a quest reward item from completing level 15, or rather there's going to be like a special chest that spawns in at the end of the dungeon. You can just grab that like quest item, you can put it in your stash, and you can do like the next dungeon on another character. So you can technically do one character for every single dungeon, so you can like complete this quest like across up to 7 characters, and just like stash all the quest items. And then once you have all 7 quest items, you can give them to Thrawn in Hunter's Blind, and he will give you the blueprint for the actual level 16 plus key. We have also doubled the drop chance for the ancient relics for the final chest at the Boundless Dungeons. This is the material for the one-click crafting relics. So these also have like a slightly higher drop chance now. Yeah, so these are the 4 chests that have the individual loot tables: the Gauntlet event one, the Trap event, the Side Boss event, and the Final Boss event chests. Like all these chests have like higher drop chances of these monster frequents. That contain MIs appropriate to the theme of the dungeon. So as I said, like for example, Spectral Longsword would be found in SLT, A living ring would be found in Ancient Grove. What else is there? Say a crown lace, like a Rudnick's pistol, would be in Forbidden Vault, and so on and so on. This is kind of like doubled here, but yeah, this is basically this, right? And yeah, the drop chance for those increases with the glow of the chest, yeah, with the tier of the dungeon, basically. This is kind of the same as down here, yeah. Should probably delete this part down here. Added quest markers, stars for the chests corresponding to the quest objectives and bonus dungeons. That's what I mentioned as well, right? You have the stars now. Probably move this up here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, monsters. Ghost ambushes. So, first of all, we're gonna talk about the Nemesis. I increased just like the base size of all of these by like a very minor amount, just to make them like slightly better visually visible, and they will have also on this, because of this, they will have like higher movement speed and like a bigger hitbox. Also, I have removed all of the like self-cleanse abilities that they had in the past, like last season, that sometimes caused to also nullify the player. That was very inconsistent and weird, so just got removed. So no more getting randomly nullified by like Perenna if you're like face tanking her, for example. Uro is more behaving like a caster now. Slightly buffed his overall speed. Has a Killer's Tempest as a default attack now instead of just like smacking you in his face, on your face. Has very slightly more damage, and also like 15% more total damage. Basically, Uro got buffed. TLDR. Lucia got buffed, but her Phantasmal Blades attack got reduced a bit, like nerfed a bit. So maybe Lucia's gonna one-shot you now, let's see. Derivius got buffed 10%. Chase got overall nerfed by 15%. And then on top of that, he used to have a weapon pool skill that had a 100% chance to pass through and also Insane Leech. That one has been split up into two. He now has one that pierces through but has no leech. The other one has leech but does not pierce through. So yeah, that's how this one works now. And it has been confirmed it is killable by pets. Even the one pet build that Biff made can kill this one now. Perenna slightly nerfed the fire spots that she does, or like rather nerfed the physical damage of those fire spots, and also nerfed her damage a little bit overall as well, but only like very minorly, like from -8 to -10%. Michio, more or less like overall like Perenna's pretty much the same, just like slight nerfs to the fire. Michio has the energy leech on the boomerang attacks from his minions, nerfed by around 25%. You will still notice the leech, but it's definitely not like as cancerous as it used to be in the past. And then also overall he could like reduce by like around 10% damage-wise. We have added a new Nemesis called Tyler the Honorless, which, well, you will see what he does. And then we also have increased the drop chance of Sigrun, Syrah, and Thrawn set from 20% to 30% now on the Nemesis. And also, well, the Nemesis can drop the rare, epic, and legendary crafting essences, as showed earlier. Ghost Heroes, all old Ghost Heroes, it's actually 13 right now, all old Ghost Heroes have been removed. There are only custom heroes now spawning. These heroes represent people that have been generous enough to donate at least $50 last season. If you would like to also become a Ghost Hero, we will also have that same campaign during the season, and we will probably have another like mid-season patch adding more Ghost Heroes at some point. I currently have still 3 in the pipeline that I haven't finished yet. Those will probably be added later. And then there's going to be hopefully more from more people supporting us as well. Season 6 when? New items, link in the website goes to Season 4. Yeah, Ground Zero should fix that. 20%, it was definitely 2%. I don't know, maybe it's 3% now then. No, it's definitely way higher than before. I double checked, like it should be 30, like actually 30% now. I'm pretty sure. Maybe, we'll see. It's higher, that's for sure. Okay, these heroes you can only encounter at level 13 and higher. And overall, they... Wait, no, this is actually not correct anymore. The Hunter coin drop rate has been overall increased. Wait, let me double check this real quick. I probably didn't update this. And it still has the values from the internal patch files here. Let's see. I like from... No, it does not have the new internal ones. Just Control F Hunter's coin real quick. Okay, so in Ultimate it is now not 33, 42%. And here it should be also increased from 33 to 40%. Okay, so Ghost Heroes have a 40% chance to drop 100 coins on normal, veteran, elite, and a 42% chance to drop them in ultimate. They can drop the 3 magic ones, right? Like the 3 like lesser essences. I can just call them lesser, that's easier. Lesser crafting essences that they can drop here, and then they're gonna drop the other ones that I showed you earlier on ultimate. The champions, like all the other like non-hero mobs that spawn, they drop nothing except for Hunter coins, which have like a 5% chance to drop those now. Super boss Balak Nath, slightly reduced HP in phase 1 and 2, but increases damage by 15%. Also his item is kind of like unusable right now. We will add like items that you can craft with his item later. Boss's Twin Omens reduce the freeze on this guy a bit. His double swipe attack is now a proper wave, so it has more range than before. They deal less damage on normal, elite, and veteran now. Both of them have 15% less damage on normal, elite, veteran. They are still the same damage in ultimate. James the Blitzer, this is like one of the bosses from Forbidden Vault that existed in the past. For some reason he deals like lightning damage on his Grenado and not fire physical. He deals that now. Lowered weapon damage a bit. I mean, it's just like stuff, right? Leora is always not balanced, as somebody said as well in the past. Just like got nerfed by 10% overall, but pretty much. Fire Giant. He's slightly nerfed overall, but it's like a very minor nerf. Like a very, very minor nerf. But he has a new skill on top, so have fun. All the spirits from the Spirit Ritual up in the peaks have, except for the Fire Giant, have like minus 10% damage as well now. They're a bit too tough for some people. Eldritch Infused Bandits in general have their poison damage on the AoE nerfed, but have increased the lightning damage on the Green Doombolt attack. Yeah, overall, like I would say they're like either the same or like slightly nerfed. Ice Guardians have gotten a slight buff because in the past the RR from their Nova attack was not applying the RR properly, and now it does. Hunter's Blind has a new wear, like a new Derivius wear, like a white ghost outfit now as well. Who was Leora? The lady with the guns from the cave. Okay, these affixes we already talked about. Item changes, Skull of the Realm. Yeah, has the physical affix affinity table now. Slightly reduced the damage on the Ages of Men here. Scepter of the Realm. Yeah, I fixed the there was like a weird affinity table here. It was coded as a lightning mace affix wise. It's now an Aether Lightning Scepter. Imperial Loop, reduced drop chance slightly. Imperial, like all of these rings had their drop chances like slightly reduced. Solal's Beheader, that's a faction item, has its visual changed. Balak Onatu's Gaze, slightly more chaos damage on other one's rage. Bane Galgador's Gaze has the poison damage reduced for judgment at low levels, below 70, but has it increased at levels above 70. And same for the OA Shred, at low levels reduced, at higher levels increased. And also added 0.6 second recharge, not fee charge, at all levels. Severia's Wine, the Acid Mortal Trap one, slightly reduced like the CDR and the damage. Slight nerf here basically. Tomb's Soul removed the elemental resistance on Spectral Binding, but added on the item itself. So it's not on Necro only, but like on everything now. Inixil's Claw, this is the Fire Claw from the Reptilian, right? Basically like a buff. Overall, this one got removed, but I mean it's definitely a buff overall there. Heavy Looter's Chestplate had Aether Chaos Affinity for some reason, got removed. Same here. This was Aether Chaos instead of Elemental Chaos Affinity. I don't know who made these items. I don't know. Some kind of noob, I guess. Imperial Halberd has its base damage increased by a ridiculous amount. This was very low for some reason in the past. Now it's very high, 420 instead of 260. It has Fist to Pierce the Bone Harvest removed, but the weapon itself has 100% armor piercing, I think, now. Period Swinder, armor piercing reduced slightly, but I mean, you can just use Devotion on swords anyway. Like, this is overall still like a buff as long as you lose the one, as long as you use the one Devotion that you probably want to use anyway on a sword. Fang of the Realm, increased base damage mostly. Removed Word of Pain conversion, removed RR, but it has so much more flat damage now, and it has also global conversion now here. So yes, it did lose like the 8 RR here, but it's gonna be more damage overall. Like from what we've seen from testing, it's definitely more damage now. Oh yeah, it has a weapon pool as well. No, true, that's new. Added a weapon pool skill. There we go. Buffs Zarya, more early game rip messages. I mean, hopefully the Ghost Ambushes will take care of that. Mythical Ultos' Smash has its radius, or like rather the range of the shield attack slightly nerfed from 9 to 7 meter range. Syrah's very minor nerf here, very minor buff here, very minor nerf here. Buff, doesn't say buff. Overall, I would say probably doesn't say buff, except for like the 1% away it's losing. Darius Hunting Garb, slight nerf to energy, cost reduction to Promise Strike. Skull of Royal Arathis, slight CDR nerf in general on Trozen, but with decay damage buff to Trozen and Weight of Shadow, and also added 2 meter radius to Weight of Shadow. So yeah, like overall, for the people that use them for TSS builds, probably like a slight nerf, but buff for other stuff. Galacross's Eternal Bulwark, Cadence buff, remove the conversion here, so like it's better usable for Aether Blitz as well, and increased retail to Blitz. Fire Giant's Shield, increased retail to Ages of Men here by a lot. Horns of the General, remove the bleed. I mean, this is kind of like right, increased level requirement to 112. This is basically not usable right now. Reneal's Gaze, increased trap duration to Blade Trap. Slightly nerfed away, slightly nerfed all damage. This is just minor nerfs here and like a slight buff to Blade Trap basically. Heavy Looter's Cask, a slight nerf to the Counter-Strike recharge when it comes to cooldown, but buff for the weapon damage part, so like a slight nerf for retail I guess, and like a buff for non-retail. Tergan's Soul Tether, this was just like, I don't think even it was working in the first place, I think this was actually bugged. So the only real change is this, so like a +1 to Blade Spirit, so kind of a buff. The Moira weapon, slightly nerfed overall, but not like big time, honestly. Iskandra's Folly. Oh yeah, this has all the like 50 lines of decay and so on removed here, but instead has like more flat on the skulls, like more base decay rather than the skulls. This is mainly just to like remove clutter, honestly, nothing else. This one had 8 damage for some reason, also removed. Made no sense. Right, this one is in here twice, is it not? Wait, did it get this removed or not? I think it did actually. I think this one needs to go then. Yeah. Troll Bone Wall removed the chaos damage here and like slightly nerfed the leech. Troll Ice Club increased Fizz Rest to Stonecolor's Pact. Ferris's Ribbon increased poison damage to Drain Essence. Removed the conversion though. And added Energy Leech for Drain Essence. Agras slightly nerfed penalty stuff and removed the energy cost to Drain Essence. But I mean, this one has its base energy cost reduced anyway. And it also has Leech here. And this one has its base damage increased as well. Head of Azaleon, this one now also gives you permanent Wind Devils. Halbera's Vision, the 4-piece, which I don't think many people use, has more max freeze rest now. Titan Claw Slicer got removed completely. There are new items now, obviously. There are 3 new Titan Claw Slicers, Sand Claw, Rift Claw, Molten Claw, and then some other green ones that frequent here, which you can check out on Grim Tools. These are like melee one-hand weapons, these are focus. These are 9 new belts, 1 belt for each class, all of them monster frequents, like green monster frequents, 2 new amulets, monster frequents, legendary from the Ice Giant, the Shield, the Shadow of the Crab Turtle, the Freeze Loader, Neomorph's Dagger, Quiet's Pacifier, Quiet's Repeater, Redbeard's Cutlass and Bicone, Blender's Small and Ivory Charm. These are all from the Ghost heroes, so these you can basically farm anywhere, wherever you get like ambushed, right? And then there's the Lawless Defender set, which you can get from the Forbidden Vault dungeon. And now, since this looks good to post, I'm gonna post it in the season announcement. Alright, obviously we should also show the trading, right? Log in now. How does it even work, the trading post? So, maybe you should stream and show this, honestly, Grunzer, because I've never used this before. Like, imagine testing. Like, I literally have, like, this window right here, I'm legit, like, seeing for the first time ever. Dude, I've been so fucking busy with the mod itself. And I know you have been busy with your part. Click on search trade listings. Search trade listings, okay. Okay, so these are things that people have been listing already here in testing, right? So for example, Old has listed a Seal of the Night blueprint and he wants 180 crystal for that. I guess, and then you can probably buy it somehow. I don't know, how do you do that? You can click on it? You can click on it. Made trade offer, okay. Seller's comment, nothing. Made trade offer, okay. Asking currency, asking price. Items offered, search stash. I have nothing stashed, nice. Yeah, okay, let's stash something maybe. This is ultimate hardcore though, why am I on hardcore, what the fuck? Imagine testing on hardcore. Okay, let's go with this guy here. Okay. What do we have here? This is a trading hub, right? Got something you need stashed? Got something you need stashed. I don't even have... I can't trade because I don't have the last slot enabled, right? I need to get more iron bits. Okay, let's buy all of these. Oh, that was close. Holy shit. Okay. Now, can I put in some Aether crystals here? Let's see. Okay, Aether crystal. Item transfer to Cloud was a success. Okay. The item is gone in here. Oops, no, my relic. And it is now... Where did I see my stash even? Cloud stash? Is this, am I on the right branch, or do I need to go on a different branch? I mean, I know this works. I'm just too stupid, probably. Go to the beta branch. Oh, there we go. Right. There we go, yeah. Okay, here are my Aether crystals. Count 12. I have 12. I can count to 12. Pog you. Now we go to profile. We go to trading post. We go to search trade listings again. Wait, nobody wants to trade on hardcore beta? Softcore beta, rather? Probably nothing listed here. Okay, we can try, we can do our own listing, right? My offers. Wait, no, how do I do that? Sell. Sell what? Sell. Okay, this is my listings. I did not do a single listing. Incoming offers, no. Notifications, no. Blocked, no. Wait, how do I sell? You can sell from the stash? Oh, okay. Go to stash. Click on this. Create trade listing. Ah, okay, okay, okay. Can put 180 crystal for trade and then ask for... select currency. Scrap. Create trade listing. Process. Success. Okay, cool. Trade? No, that's not the right one. Oops, that's the challenges. Spoilers. Trade. Trading post. Okay, search trade listings. My offers. Wait, am I mixing up beta and non-beta again? I mean, I know it worked on you guys. Like, I've seen people use this properly, but I've never used it myself. This is, as I said, maybe I shouldn't showcase this. Okay, my trade listings. Listed item 1 Aether crystal. Item required. Price 1 scrap. Scrap it. Okay, so I can remove the listing here. Or just like wait for someone to accept this trade offer, I guess. There's nobody but me in here. Yeah, I guess we need more testers. I don't know. Nah, it worked on. Like you can see people properly testing here, right? Well, not the cloud stash, but like the trade post. Like people have been trading here. These are trade offers. People have also reported trading working, so that should be good to go. A bit of a bug with your item, yeah, it's already being fixed. Or like, it has already been fixed, not on Grim Tools yet though. Yeah, it was tested, but not by me. It's not wrecked proof yet, as you can tell. Hardcore still SSF? Yes. Yes. Hardcore, as you can see, has no trading post. Hardcore is SSF. Like if I go my hardcore character here. And I put something in the stash. I don't have enough iron butts. Okay, let's just get rich real quick. This is enough money. Yep. Let's put in a boundless skeleton key. Success. Refresh. Boundless skeleton key in here. Okay, so Cloud Stash works. And now there's no create trade offer or like listing. Click here, right? We cannot do this. So yeah, no trade on hardcore, only on softcore. So this works. You have the chat, of course, again, right? You can write like /G on to enter the chat, and then you can just talk here, right? You can also change the color. /help for commands. O online. One user currently online. Pog, that's me, I guess. And then we have /T on, I think, as well. Right? T is the trade channel. Alo. And G is the global normal channel. Is that stash unlimited? The stash here is limited to 250 items. Unless you have the supporter tag, then it's unlimited. To get the supporter tag, you have to basically donate at least, what was it, $5 or $10, something like that? I think 5. Yeah, 5. But yeah, 250 items is technically still enough to like beat the entire game and everything, I think. But yeah, I mean, it's basically done because we have to pay for the service, right? Like all of this stuff, all the client stuff, all this website stuff, and all the API stuff, like all the information sent between the game, the launcher, the website, back and forth, all of that is costing server energy and like money on our side, so we do have to pay for that somehow. Oh yeah, we can also link items in chat now, right? Wait, can you not? What is it again? Shift click? Am I on the bugged one, or...? I don't know, there's like 50 different launchers right now. I have not been working on those, and I have no idea which one is the correct one right now. On which one it's supposed to work. I mean, on the release one, of course, but other than that. Alt Shift? Not Control Shift? Alt Shift is nothing. Oh, Alt Control... Oh. What? So this is open, Control, Shift, left click. Open, Alt, Shift, left click. Cool feature, bro. Yeah. What is this one? Is this also as good? It's Alt 4. Oh. Here. Right click on the item. It's gonna reroll the prefix to a chilled. Well, that's literally the same item. Do it again. It is a chilled yet again, literally the same item. And I know why, because I'm not playing on the launcher. If I use the essence of Ratosh here, right click on the item. Alright. I know this also works. Just I'm probably like on the wrong version of the launcher right now, but it does work. Did I go /G on? I am /G on. I am in the G. I should be in the G. No, I'm not in the G anymore. Oh, okay, I see now. If you just press Shift left click on this. Wait, huh? What? Wait, it works. It's not rect proof. I don't know why. It's literally just Shift left click. Okay, it works. I mean, yeah, obviously it works. I know it works, but like, I'm just stupid. I was not in G earlier. I was in G at some point, and then I did something that put me out of G. And I don't know what I did. But now I am in G, and now it works. I mean, okay, it works. I'm just a bad showcaser. You can show how many Ultrasis Wrath you have now. Bad chest. Wait, can I link this as well? Oh, even this works? Dang. Oh, this also works? It even shows as red? Oh my god, okay, that's bad chest. And you can hover them, and it will show the entire item. It's actually good. Golden Tusk spam. a race between the developers making better idiot-proof systems and the universe making better idiots. So far, the universe is winning. Yep. Can you see the role value or just the name? Let's see. 105 acid damage. I think you can see the roll as well. Yes, yes, you can see everything actually. Okay, somebody asked a question earlier, I think Rexo, right? You asked a question, then you asked me to read it again, and then I still didn't read it. We did a recording of the stream, yes. Passive skill question? Oh.
Good, you're back.
New bosses. Thanks to resub G. 44 months. Dang. That is one dedicated subscriber. Thanks so much for the continued support. Much appreciated. I mean, there are new areas, right? There are new areas. Right? There are new areas. So there are new bosses. There's no new Moira, if you're asking that. But there are new bosses, yes.